What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video with the second straight week in a row of Friday Night SmackDown being a 3-hour broadcast. And man, they did a very successful job with this show too. I'll say, well, maybe except for the Men's United States Championship match, which I don't get what was the point, but at the same time, it was a really good show. Like with a very awesome Women's United States Championship match, a very phenomenal Women's Fatal 4-Way match, which shows that the women's division in wrestling in general, overall, in WWE and the competition and other companies, like they're doing a very successful job in that division as very much as in the men's division, and I totally like that. Like for real, like for 100,000% of it, and also we got. Well, we also saw the new broadcast team of Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore on Friday Night SmackDown. Well, not really new because they've been commentating buddies like for a while, going on Raw for the last 3 months. But it's where they show like Tiffany Stratton and Shinsuke Nakamura and others coming in the building with their respective championships. And this is where they show Paul Heyman coming out because he got plenty of things to say, like about Roman Reigns and the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes. But this is where they showed the premiere Raw on Netflix, which I would tell you like that was a very great show, which is why I got 5 stars when I gave it that, when I reviewed that this past Monday. And I can't wait what's to come next for this coming Monday, like when Dakota Kai faces Lyra Valkyria in the finals for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and Chad Gable against the mystery opponent, which we all know is the El Miedo. But anyways, this is where they saw all the matches from Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa against Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Seth Rollins against CM Punk. And they showed that next week we will be seeing Solo Sikoa. So we got more to see that looking forward in the future in WWE. But it's where after they showed the recap of Raw, this is where they showed like Paul Heyman, like he came out saying his iconic catchphrase he usually say, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and our tribal chief has finally as the only tribal chief again, and Roman Reigns finally did so by defeating the wannabe tribal chief Solo Sikoa and regain his Ulafala. And this was like, and again, I bet would you all of you followers of the tribal chief, what it accomplished. Share that like everyone here tonight, like in Portland, Oregon, like him saying it with a fancy O sound, but this is where Paul Heyman's like, I want to share this. What man in particular, like what individual that deserves like to hear this news is none other than to face is that man is the guy that did beat Roman Reigns. And that is the new reigning defendant, undisputed WWE heavyweight champion, and that is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And he intended like for him to come out after he mentioned them by name. And yeah, and both of these men were doing their wrestling homework because this is where like they took a page on 1408. Like once you mention somebody by name, they're gonna come out. That's what basically Cody Rhodes did. It's where he's like, okay, like I'm out here. This is where he's like. And it's like, and this is mind blowing with him doing the hand gestures. I cannot believe I'll be positively going to be talking to Paul Heyman here at this point. Is where he's like, so Mr. Heyman and people in Portland, like, what do you want to talk about? Is where he put this is where he lifted up his WWE championship. This is where Paul Heyman like had an out of character moment about Cody Rhodes, about saying like he deserved like every single thing about that response the fans would give. And he also did something that the very thing that in this business that has very few that ever done, you earn the respect of the tribal chief, which is Roman Reigns. And this is where fans like, yeah, that's very cool. Like they can be on the same. But this is where then Paul Heyman was like, I respected you like ever since you were a little boy, and these fans like are all over you because Like, because what of a god of a champion that you have turned out to be, and you are credit not only just the WWE SmackDown, but the WWE in its entirety in history of this business and the company in general. Just where did he add? Say and because of that, you are such a great champion, Cody. Roman Reigns has asked me to come out here and tell you, just straight up to the face, to your face, now that he's won back his Ulafala, in the term of tribal chief, he's asking you to give back his undisputed WWE championship. I'm like, it's one thing that he being a tribal chief, but being a champion is a totally different category. And I don't think you should be requesting that unless you want a match. But it's where Paul Heyman was like, tease this WrestleMania 40 rematch that we have yet to gotten, which I would have assumed this would have been earlier, but I'm not sure if I want to see this rematch happening now. Maybe after WrestleMania, I don't know. Maybe it could be at Elimination Chamber, but somehow Roman could possibly be screwed, but we'll get into that later. But this would have made it very intrigued, with Roman Reigns still haven't forgot about him being the one beating him for that title, and he wants the title back. But Cody Rhodes is not going to. But before Cody Rhodes can even respond to that, it's where Kevin Owens said, what I want to talk about, which both Paul and Cody did not know where he was located at until Paul Heyman looked up in the upper right side onto the audience when he was not other than the prize fighter right on the top of the stairs. And this was I want to talk about. I thought that you couldn't get more worse than you already are. Not only were you teaming with Roman Reigns and Babel, it actually does get worse because Monday Night Raw, you go shake hands with the Raw. Why in question? Because he kissed your ass and rubbed your ego the white way in explanation. And he's and now you shake hands with Paul Heyman, and then what happens next after you shake his hand? And what happens 30 seconds after you do so? He look at you in the eye and ask, "Can you bring back Roman Reigns?" And he was instead of you letting the new bloodline ripping Roman to shreds, you decided to help him out, and you pick me as the charge, and he was and if you wanted to give that title back to Roman Reigns, you're hurting the entire company. This is where Cody Rhodes proved that he's not exactly doing that. This is where he chased Kevin Owens up the stairs with him trying to escape, but this was too late because Cody Rhodes caught on to him in the middle of the stairs, started hitting right hands onto the prize fighter. Kevin Owens pushed him off and then trying to escape him, but he would still end up getting beaten up by the American Nightmare. This is where they go around the top of the stairs where they try to this is where then they were continuing the brawl, and this is where we got Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu surprise Paul Heyman out of nowhere, sneaking from behind, right through the bottom corner side, getting in the ring. This is where they're about to do an attack on him, but luckily, guess who comes out? Yes, sir, ma'am. The guy that Tama Tonga attacked when he made his WWE debut, and that is main event Jimbo Uso, which him hit super kicked on both Tama and Jacob, and sent some right hands onto Tama, and he also did what they call a super kick on the Jacob again, right into the bottom right side, is where he is running hip attacks right onto the diagonal corners in the upper left with Tama and Jacob in the bottom right side. Then he hit a sliding handshake to Paul Heyman. This is where we got Jimmy Uso grab onto a steel chair, waxed Tama Tonga right in the back in the process. This is where then he did the same to Jacob Fatu in the bottom right side. This is where Jacob Fatu's he didn't really hit me with a chair. He just knew how to kind of provoke me, doesn't he? This is where he started wiggling, started doing that dance and whatnot, and this is what he does for an elbow striking crossbody right on to Jimmy Uso. This is where he started hitting repeated headbutts right on to him. This is where we got Jacob Fatu to grab on and tell him to get that chair. This is where Tama Tonga passed it to him while he starts stomping on the Jimmy. This is where then he started going for trying to go for a hip attack with him having the chair around his neck, like how Solo did to that certain original bro back a couple of years ago. But luckily, the security guards come in. But even for that, Jacob Fatu couldn't. They couldn't stop the Samoan werewolf because Jacob started hitting super kicks onto him. That's where then they started stomping him with the chair still wedge wrapped around his neck. But luckily, Cody Rhodes scaring him off. That's where Cody Rhodes like, come on, like jump froggy on me, Jacob. This is where Jacob tried to go over the clothesline. Cody Rhodes ends up punch right in the gut and the face of the werewolf. It's where Cody Rhodes got pushed right to the left side by Jacob Fatu. He tried to close him out of the ring, but it backfired onto Jacob Fatu because Cody ducks out of it, goes for a clothesline, knocking him over the top. How about come back in the ring if you dare to do so? That's where the Tamatang and Jacob Fatu decided to just leave, like not just because Nicholas the Ridiculous is telling them to, but because of Cody like intimidating him, and they did not want to. They don't want to show that they do look intimidating or they do feel intimidated in general. Like considering that Cody Rhodes took him out all by himself. This is where I thought that Jimmy Uso, I was like, this is where when Jimmy Uso came out by himself, I was like, why did he came out on his own? Like, that's bad wrestling math. But I would not expect to actually beat both of them at the same damn time, which I got to admit, he did a very impressive job, showing that wrestling math sometimes does not matter when it comes to you being in a much angry mood, like, and you just want to throw fists right onto no matter who is in that square circle. If you're about to attack family, which they were trying to do to the Wise Man, which Paul Heyman is still considered family, even though he's not by blood. But like that's put in times before, like family does not mean like blood relation. Like it's about a bond that you share with somebody for many years. But anyways, but let's just say this won't be the last time we won't be seeing neither Jimmy Uso, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga like tonight on this edition of Friday Night SmackDown. But we're going to show you like what happened next when Nicholas the Ridiculous still continuing to try to kick out the Samoan Werewolf and the right hand man of the former new tribal chief. But it wasn't working until LA Knight came in and attacked him and threw both of them out, which I was completely shocked. But this is where we got the very amazingly and awesome Women's United States Championship, which was announced by Portland, like which we talked about on my cast video, where Michin was supposed to be like is the next challenger for Chelsea Green's United Championship, which I heard it was originally supposed to be for Saturday night's main event, but they decided to do it just 15 days earlier because just to add some prestige into the show's 3-hour broadcast, because like they don't want the fans to look at boring stuff. Like they want to do some total nonstop wrestling. You know, that's not a neutral right to she's trying to go for like a leg stretching submission around the right corner rope, which the referee told her like she's on the ropes and this is not a no DQ contest, so you gotta let go in the next 5 seconds, is which which the referee got to 3. But this is where Michin let go of her. This was trying to go for a crossbody, but Chelsea countered it into a face plant right to the middle rope, face and neck first. This is where she threw Michin right into the right side, into the ringside area. That's where we got Chelsea throws Michin right into the bottom corner side of the barricade. That's where she did a pose with Piper Niven, like if they're in the United States Marines or Army or whatever military base, like they're enrolled in. But this is where we got Chelsea then start hitting boots right into the neck and the head of Michin and start stomping him right onto her back. This is where doing right in the neck. This is where she goes for a clothesline. This is where we got I'm trying to go for a pin, but she got denied by a 2 count. This is where we got her throwing her right to the right side, distracting the referee while Piper starts slapping her around. This is where she gets hit face first right onto the right corner side apron. This is where we got Chelsea. It was like, I am your champion. This is where Michin was like, not. And this is where she goes for the surprise roll-up, which the fans in Portland was probably thinking otherwise because she's starting to be a little bit more of a fan favorite champion. Like ever since she won that title in the tournament, which WWE made the best decision of doing so. But it's where we got Chelsea to start stomping on to Michin around in the ring with her talking trash to the haters in the audience. Where we got Chelsea going for her headlock, but it's where Michin started punching her right into the gut. It's where she tried to go. Try to escape out of her submission, though, but it's where Michin's like, never, like, you're not going to escape out of here. This is where Michin's like, oh, you want to bet? This is where then she tried to elbow strike her, but that didn't unfortunately work. That's where she ended up, though, swinging Chelsea right into the corner. This is where Chelsea tried to go for a headlock, but this is where we got Michin to try to counter out of it by trying to hit her with what they call it, like, with that arm drag or headlock slam of her own, but it's where she ends up settling for a back suplex spin and knock her right off of her. Is where we got. Well, it's happened. It's where Michin managed to get right back up. Is where we got Chelsea Green and trying to attack her, but she ends up getting elbowed right into the face by the Michin wrestler. This is where we go. This is where we got Chelsea Green trying to go over and attack, but Michin kicks her right in the face. Get her with a sliding hurricane, like if she was Mickey James or Trish Stratus. This is where she also ended up hitting a hurricane to her face, but like if she was Rey Mysterio, Kalisto, or Sin Cara, which two of the last luchadors I mentioned is no longer there. Well, I don't know why I even mentioned that, but this is where she sent it right to the bottom right corner side. That's where Michin started doing that little dance routine that she came up with, like ever since she debuted it last week on on the what they called SmackDown the week before when she faced Piper Niven, and I was like, oh Lord, have mercy. And that's where she started doing a little twerk after she did a cannonball, but this is where it ended up getting denied at 2.5. The generic quarterback called on the play. This is where we got Michin to try to grab on to Chelsea, pull her back. But this is where she tried to go for a clothesline. But ends up she gets face planted by the HBIC. This is where Chelsea tried to go for a cover, but this is where she gets denied at 2.3, if I'm mistaken. This is where she tried to go for again, but this is where this time she kicked out 2 even. She's like, there's no way, like y'all, like there's there's some explanation why she's kicking out like the way she is. But this is where the Chelsea Green, before she can even figure that out, is where she tried to figure out how to put Michin away. This is where right into the upper right corner side, Michin could go right up in the top rope, but this is where Piper nearly sweeped her right over her legs, but she ended up swipe kicking her right into the face. Into the bottom side is where Michin tried to go off the top rope. This is where Piper is like, you cannot be doing that to me. And this is where Michin's like, oh, says who? Right after she hit a cannonball to her. This is where it's like, that Women's United States Championship will be mine. This is where we got. That's where Michin didn't try to go for what move was it? It was a crossbody, I believe. That's where Michin got denied by Chelsea Green. Like upper half was just trapped between Michin's legs after hitting that crossbody. It's where Chelsea Green with Lillian Garcia being the latest addition to say it in that caliber, I guess they announcing Chelsea Green is where Michin tried to stop her from leaving, from celebrating. That's where Michin attacks her. Piper Niven attacks her, hits a running senton right onto Michin. Is where we got. Piper Niven's like, okay, you may have won this battle, but you will not win the war. This is where Chelsea Green started chuckling, like if Michin said a very historical joke, like if she's not being anything serious. This is where we got her stepping right out of the arena. This is where we got. That's where then we got the whole tag team division start complaining of the two Nicholas the Ridiculous Aldis of getting an opportunity for the WWE Tag Team Championship, which was the most Machine Gun, Pretty Deadly, and Los Garza. But this is where we got 8 Down Down Under. Like, wow, this is getting out of control. Like, maybe we should go to the other show, Raw, which is Raw, and go to their tag team division where it's been charged with their general manager that is a certain bald, handsome guy, which I was like, I wonder what that even means. But either way, I think tomorrow Simon's going to point that out and start saying, I totally appreciate that because he respects bald wrestlers and bald wrestling personalities. But it's where then we got Nicholas the Ridiculous. Then finally, everybody start arguing. Where it's like, all right, enough. I got a solution. How about And they're like, oh, okay, you face the motion machine gun, the 8 down and under, while he tells Los Cigars that they're going to be taking on, what's their names, Pretty Deadly, which it kind of confirms that they're now babyface tag team, like considering that they were they were set up by the Pretty Deadly by making the Street Profits assume that they're the ones that make them believe that it was Los Garza that was the one that attacked, the former Triple Crown Tag Team Champions. But what are your thoughts on to this Los Garza? And do you think the whole faction of the L, what that LD LDF, I believe that's what the initials. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Like, do you think they're they're maybe, or do you think it's just Angel Garza and Berto? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. And what are your thoughts on the feud between Michin and Chelsea Green? Which I would say, me personally, I would give it about the. Why not? I'll give it the. It may not be the gold or the silver, but the bronze trophy of the night. But the men's United States Championship, I had to give the blue ribbon because it was just, I don't know what to put it in a way, but it was lacking, I'll say nostalgia, in a way, if that makes sense, if that's the term to use. But anyways, this is where we get the tag team match, which start off first, like whoever wins gets to face the finals of whoever wins on the next match between A-Town Down Under and the Motor City Machine Guns, which they fought, and let me tell you, they tied in second place with the main event. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about we saw Berto and Garza dives on Pretty Deadly, but it's where we got Elton Prince there quickly and cowardly get out of the way and move right to the other side. Is where we got what's his name from Berto to go for something, flip back in the ring with what's his name Kid Wilson is where he goes for a spinning enziguri kick and a rolling flip into a moonsault. Is where he tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 1.7 count, I guess you could say. This is where we got. This is where he tags in his cousin Angel in. This is where that's where they think about going for a double team maneuver to attack. But this is where he saw Kid Wilson start going down his knees, begging and praying and pleading to those guards of showing mercy. But they're like, no, you got nowhere else to go. Like, you should have done that when you had the chance to. But since we're in this match, why we need to do this? Where you try to jump right over them, but it's where that backfired in nearly 5 seconds. But it's where they decided to push him right back into the left side rope, hit a double hip toss forward and back, and then hit a double. Where we got Garza, then have Kid Wilson right to the bottom ropes into the left quarter side is where he tags in Berto was. Is where we got Garza to go to the right side is where he goes for a knee strike. Right on to Kid Wilson is where we got Berto to try to put him back in the ring since he's the legal man. Is where trying to go for a cover, but he only got him a 2 even count. Is where he gets kicked right in the gut by Kid Wilson, but this is where Berto needs him right back. This is where he trying to go for a springboard arm drag maneuver, Majiki, onto Kid Wilson. This is where he gets a missile drop kick. This is where he try to go for a pin. This is where he only got a 2 even count yet again. This is where Berto's like, I understand why is he kicking out like this. That's where he tried to dive on. That's where he tried. That's where then he tried to dive right onto what's his name, onto Kid Wilson right outside the ring. But it's where he didn't. What Berto did not know that he was no longer the legal man because Elton Prince tagged himself in. This is where he gets intercepted by Elton Prince with an attack. He hits him with the most amazing backwards neck breaker I've ever seen. That looked like a facebuster maneuver, like from the Pretty Deadly member. This is where he's like, what are you gonna do now, huh? Like, not really tough, are you? And this is where then the powerful force and all the professional wrestling came on, which is a commercial break. And this is where we got That's where Kit Wilson and Elton Prince are tag teaming on Bertha until he tags in Garza in, and then he gives a pretty impressive insecurity onto the Kit Wilson, and he hit a crossbody. I was like, yeah, like I understand like how this move is still not the comeback maneuver in all of professional wrestling. That's where then we got what's that name? Humberto Carrillo. Oh no, Andrew Garza go for a flying headset in the Hurricane Rana. On to Kit Wilson is where the Angel that finally had a wardrobe malfunction, which was on purpose, by ripping the pants off and revealing that he had some tights underneath it. He has a super kick right after threw the ripped pants right into the face of Kid Wilson. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where he gets denied with a kick out at 2.6. This is where he starts screaming out of frustration and anger. This is where Berto's like, you fine, like we still got a chance. But this is where somehow Kid Wilson countered out of Garza. It's where then he tags in Elton Prince to get an opportunity to score his finisher. But where Santos Escobar showed that just because the Los Garza may be turning baby doesn't mean he is, because it's where he used a cheap shot by tripping over Elton Prince that was in the top rope when him having the offense, but it's where he gets hit with that double spine buster maneuver that looked like a roller coaster, or what that back and forth forward and back bonds ride. But it's where he got him the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, Los Garza. And who do you think is going to win in the finals? And who's going to win? Most important, who's going to win on the next round? Let me know in the comments. Whoever wins is going to be facing Los Garza. And do you think it's going to be the Motor City Machine Guns, or is it going to be the what they call it, the 8 Count Down Under? But this is where we move on to the next slide. Is where we got LA Knight taking on Shinsuke Nakamura for the Men's United States Championship, which we already discussed this earlier, and that was, let's just say, without exactly, hey man, to cut my teeth that much, and that's the right term to use. But let's just say, yeah, this match was pretty, at its decency, I guess you could say. But, it was not so bad, to a point that you think it's very horrendous. But it's just that, it's just like something that's filler, and it's something that, leads LA into one feud to another, with him not really making a lot of friends, which is probably the most horrible idea. But at the same time, it's not his fault that the enemies that he does make is not his fault. But we're going to move on to talk about it's where we got both men looking at each other with deafening eyes, because they are bitter rivals that just cannot stand to be in the same room. But anyway, excuse me. And then they start grappling. This is where we got LA Knight kind of won, and then pushing Shinsuke right off of him. This is where then Shinsuke tried to redo it, but he ends up getting over-dominated in the grappling war against the megastar. This is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura trying to do a cheap shot by grabbing something illegally around the neck of the man that could possibly be from Los Angeles. Not really, because he's playing a gimmick. But this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura to count out of an Irish whip right onto Los Angeles Knight. But this is where he ends up getting neck breaker by the megastar himself. This is where he started getting stomped by the former United States champion. This is where he tried to go for his signature knee, but Shinsuke smartly moved out of the way and went right to the bottom court side on the apron. This is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura managed to and throw LA Knight back in the ring, like after some brutal Irish whips. This is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura start kicking him right in the side. This is where he starts to, what we're gonna do now, like you powerless, you hopeless, powerless clown, like it is where Shinsuke Nakamura had him flat in his back. This is where he starts stomping. Or no, hit a right hand right to the midsection of Barrett. This is where he did. But this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was right up. This is where he spin around a little, see what he needs to do next. And we're like, okay, since Los Angeles is right there on the left side, like, how about I started kneeing him right into the midsection? This is where he did so. That's where he tried to go for a boot right to the face. He started But it's where we got LA Knight threw Nakamura right to the left side. It's where LA Knight didn't run right to the left side. But this is where we got a headlock from Shinsuke Nakamura. This is where he started slamming maneuver. This is where LA Knight continued to come back and try to beat Nakamura down to the point that he don't know what day it is, let alone what month it is. But this is where we got LA Knight trying to go for that reverse fire woman's carry, but this is where we got. But this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura and made him had his back gave out. This is where LA Knight tried to go for a right hand, but this is where Nakamura ducks. This is where we got Knight to try to go for a wheelbarrow roll up. But this is where LA Knight nearly hit an exposed turnbuckle that Shinsuke Nakamura immediately removed. This is where he tripped right over right in the middle rope and hit with a slingshot German suplex. This is where Nakamura's like, I'm out of the ring. This is where he's like, this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura somehow got back up, hitting him. I got the Russian leg sweep. This is where it goes up, right up on the top rope in the upper left side, if I'm mistaken. This is where we got LA Knight trying to go over right hand to fire it back, but it's where we got, what's his name? Of Nakamura, the LA Knight. That's where he hit the megastar, like a mega big chance suplex. That's where Nakamura kicks out at the contest. This is where we got both men were down. This is where we got LA Knight hit a reverse version of the reverse. The reverse version of the Boston Crab. And I heard that he's from Maryland, so maybe he's close, but at the same time, he's not exactly from the city in particular. But it's where we got LA Knight trying to drag on two. Is where we got. This is where he started trying to help Nakamura, but this is where he started striking him, hitting a spinning wheel kick, trying to go for a Kinshasa. This is where LA Knight ducks, trying to go for a schoolboy roll up. LA Knight did counter out of it. This is where trying to go for a blunt force trauma. This is where Nakamura hit the strike. I'm not sure if it was a forearm or a head, but this is where we got. This is where we got Nakamura to hit the Kinshasa yet again. This is where we got Nakamura trying to go for a pin, but as soon as he was about to celebrate, I guess, over 500 reign with the title, he is right, and he's trying to go for a pin on to. And this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura and put LA Knight right into the bottom upper left side. Is where Shinsuke Nakamura was about to hit a Kinshasa, trying to paralyze LA Knight right into the corner. But what Shinsuke Nakamura did not realize is that lightning does not strike twice. Is where he hits his knee right into exposed turnbuckle in the bottom in the bottom, I mean, up on the upper left side of the turnbuckle is where we got. This is where we saw LA Knight would have gotten away with this win and became new United States champion if it wasn't for these meddling minions. And it was Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu comes in and destroy everybody in the. We got Jacob Fatu at the pop-up Samoan drop on the LA Knight is where then we got Tama Tonga then grab. That's where he grab on the LA Knight, put him right to the bottom left side. That's where he hits a running hip attack on him, not just once, but twice. That's where once they got him down, that's where we saw Jacob Fatu hit a diving moonsault right on the full floor. But that's where we got Jacob Fatu then. It spotted a glance of both Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso from afar. That's where they started prancing right into Jacob and Tama, just laying some fists right onto these men. That's where got Jimmy Uso throws Jacob Fatu over the barricade and then follow that up with a double super kick with Cody onto Tama Tonga, which I was like, that looks very familiar, but like considering where Cody Rhodes just came from a couple years ago. But it's where Nicholas the Ridiculous then was about to send him home, but luckily Cody Rhodes was there saying, like, no, don't send them home because they're here. The reason why Jimmy and Tama and Jacob are here. Like, come on, boys. Like, well, let's do this. Like, right here, right now. This is where he stated that. But this is where we got. But that's where Nicholas the Ridiculous then agreed with Cody Rhodes' decision. That's where he's like, you want that match? Like, you got it. That's where it was confirmed that we did got a tag team match. And who do you think was going to win? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But that's all I was trying to speculate all day long. Like, who's my father to. But this is where we got Tiffany Stratton, the nations. All we just heard this is coming out. The reason why they didn't have tonight because they didn't have enough time. Like, also, not to mention that this. Also, not to mention this is a random episode of SmackDown and special, just being just another week of being 3 hours. But that's where we got. I want to ask you this question: like, what are your thoughts on to? But this is where we got to show the recap of Tiffany Stratton and how he cashed in for the women's championship. This is where everybody, even live streamers, are like, oh my God, Tiffany actually did it. This is where we got. But this is where they're like, this is where we got Tiffany Stratton. But let's see what. Oh no, it was a tag team match, which was 8 down under against the Motion Machine Guns. And yeah, nothing special, like just like the United States Championship. If anything, I would give it probably about the red ribbon of the night. Beside a couple of these setback matches, like the show was very fantastic. But we're going to think started by Grayson Waller and Alex Shelley. This is where Grayson Waller starts kicking around the gut, trying to go for a headlock. This is where we got him his head and right hands right into the face by Grayson Waller. That was Austin Theory with him doing all the work that is. And this is where we got Austin Theory did Irish whips. With the Alex Shelley right to the bottom left side. This is where we got. But this is where we got Austin Theory trying to go for a pin, but this is where he gets denied by 2.4. This is where we got him dipping right to the upper right corner side. This is where he hits him back first right into Shelley right there. He followed that up with a clothesline. This is where we got Grayson Waller did. This is where we got Alex Shelley tags and Chris Sabin. This is where we try to go for double up. I gotta go for a double Irish whip, but Alex Shelley tried to trip over Austin Theory, but it was not about her, even though Austin Theory was playing along with him. This is where he ended up getting paid back, being bitten right in the rear end because he gets running Bulldog with what's his name? Chris Sabin, which is the best way to get some justice been served. Here's where we got Crazy Wallstar shouting Ozzy, like if he's Mark Davis, or that other guy in the company that's currently under a contract with the other company, with the competition, that is, like how Seth Rollins referred to two. But it's where we got Crazy Wallstar throws. It's where he saw Chris Sabin was rolling around right to the left and right course side, taking elbow right to the face. This is where I try to go for a pin, but this is where Grayson Waller kicks out of it. This is where we got. But this is where we got Grayson Waller to grab onto to Chris Sabin, throws him on the right side, try to go for a clothesline, ducks out Chris Sabin's maneuver is where he then slides underneath the ring, trips right over Austin Theory, hits him face first right on the apron. That's where we got Alex Shelley coming to help him out by snapmaring him. He had the swift kick right to the face onto. But this is where we got somehow the Martian Machine Guns got Grayson Waller out in the ring. This is where we were about to see Chris Sabin about to go for a dive over underneath Chris Sabin's legs, where he was about to, but this is where we got. What happened next? This is where we got, what's his name? Grayson Waller takes an elbow for him, struck right to the back of Chris Sabin. This is where he had the advantage until the most powerful force in all professional wrestling came back on. And this is where he gets tagged in by Austin Theory that was trying to go for a pin. But this is where it ends up being. But this is where we got Austin Theory trying to go for a headlock right onto, what's his name? Chris Sabin, was it? Or was it Alex Shelley? But that's where he tried to go. He tried to Irish whip him to the corner, but it's where he gets. It's where he gets. It's back. This is where his plan goes backfire. He gets in right to the side, right to his side. Austin starts doing a chuckle of maniacals. This is where he tags in his partner Grayson Waller. It's where they try to go for like their version of the Midnight Hour.
Two.
Here's where we got Alex Shelley then count out pushes what's his name, Austin Theory, which he ran into his partner Grayson Waller, which he fell right to the right side corner. He finally tagged in his partner Chris Sabin. This is where he taking him to school, like with the strike punches, like if he's a younger modern day Dusty Rhodes. This is where he did the middle drop kick on Austin Theory in the face first, right onto the right side harsh part of the ring, which is the ring apron. This is where we got Chris Sabin and then go for a crossbody on the Austin Theory. Then he did the Grayson Waller, hit the swiping kick right to the right side onto the apron onto Austin Theory, and hit the striking Enziguri. This is where we got Chris Sabin spotted as partner, what's his name? Alex Shelley. Here's where they hit a middle drop kick right onto A-Town Down Under. This is where we got Alex Shelley then tried to do what they were trying to do earlier, which there was a guarantee, by the way, with Alex Shelley standing onto the middle rope with his legs wide, like if he's about to do a leapfrog, so he can give space for Chris Sabin to hit a suicide dive right onto the middle ropes, where we got Kristen throws Grayson right back in the ring. This is where we got Alex Shelley then try to go for a face plant, while Chris Sabin try to go for a middle drop kick, double team a jiggy. This is where it looked like there was a signature move compared to their, what's that maneuver? What's it called? I totally forgot what it's called, but or Skulls and Bones, I believe that's what it's called. Or Stones and Bones. I think it's Stones and Bones. But this is where we got Alex Shelley either way, like over a wrist lock. This is where he tags in Chris Sabin. This is where fans start chanting, "This is awesome," which I totally agree. I was like, if it wasn't for the women's match that was coming up next, maybe I would have gave this match the #1 spot. but it's gonna get the second place spot like next to the main event later on tonight. This is where we got Grayson Waller to try to slide underneath the ring. This is where he tried to go for a right stroke onto Alex Shelley, but this is where Chris Sabin ducks out of the way, hit a super kick right in the face of the Aussie icon. This is where he tried to go for a dot. We end up getting back elbow strike by Austin Theory. This is where he did the same Alex Shelley that was in this corner, like waiting for him to get attacked from Chris Sabin. This is where we got Austin Theory tags in Grayson Waller so that he can do a double what they call a pop-up right hand strike. Once the referee counted, this is where you only got a 2.5. This is where Austin Theory was like, oh, come on. There gotta be some way to put him away for good. This is where Austin Theory tried to go for what they call an 8-count down, but this is where we got what's his name? Chris Sabin trying to go for a wheelbarrow roll up on the left side. But this is where Grayson Waller nearly hit a rolling stone, but he gets a forearm strike by what's his name? Grayson Waller, but this is where then he did push right to his partner side, which Austin Theory tried to go for a wheelbarrow roll, but once he put right out, he hits a forearm strike right onto him, onto Alex Shelley when he got tagged in with back elbow. This is where Chris Sabin tried to hit a super kick on him, but this is where he gets hit with a back-legged scissor super kick, like if he's what they call a cartwheel kick, whatever we call it, like how Booker T would do it, like when he's making a comeback. But this is where Grayson Waller went out and went back in, so he won't get DQ because he's gonna be in like way combined like over 5 seconds, where he then gets Irish whip right to the right. This is where he gets those Irish whips, Sabin right to the right side with a gut buster, but it's where they double team him when Sabin grab onto his hand when he flip him right over him in face first in the canvas. Chris Sabin hit a super kick. This is where he hit a strike right on Austin while tagging in on Alex Shelley for the skull and bones. This is where to get the 1, 2, 3 winner of this match is the Motion Machine Guns, which they earned himself a spot against Los Garza, like in next week's episode of SmackDown, where wins gets shot at DIY Tag Team Champions, which Tommaso Ciampa's like unbelievable double time. It's where Johnny Gargano agrees, like, yeah, this is double bogus and double stupid. This is where they're pretty dead. He's like, what was that out there? Like, would you not being out there? Like I thought we made a deal. Like, if I scratch your back, you scratch our back. This is where the Tommaso Ciampa, like, I thought I made myself clear that I don't want any of you scratching my back, like, which he was literally saying. But that's what Johnny Gargano was like, we don't. And what Johnny Gargano's like, we're not really scratching back, but we're gonna still do your favor. But the thing is, we never had a chance, we appreciate you having our backs. Like, we would have gotten y'all back. Like, if we would have allowed it out there, but all thanks to that wretched Nicholas the Ridiculous that just barred us from ringside, is where like, but we're gonna make it up for the next time, okay? Like, when you have the next opportunity, but this word pretty deadly was not having it. This is where they start asking when is this particular next time will be, because they don't want to hear a lot of talk. They want to hear a lot of action. I hate having his voice right now. But this is where DIY and walked out. This is where Apollo Crews was like, this is where Apollo Crews pointed out that, like, if you're anything dumb that, like, what they tell you to do, you definitely deserve anything else that's coming your way. Like, and trust me, like, they're not gonna be those tag team titles for sure. Like, I'm not trying to talk trash, but I'm just saying this is where he walked out of there sideways. And I'm like, yeah, he has a good point. And I was like, maybe we get a pair of Apollo Crews with what's his name, with the Street Profits, because he's being the I guess you could say the guardian angel of theirs, like with that gimmick. But this is where we got Candice LeRae, went into Nia Jax's locker room, informing the Irresistible Force, like that she spotted Tiffany Stratton headed out to the ring. She was like, this is where she was asking, like, what do you have to say to her? This is where she's I'm not just gonna say anything. I'm actually congratulate her. This is where she walked out right into the arena, like, as soon as after Tiffany did. But before we get into all that, this is what I want to point out. Say, like Candice LeRae starting to be like the next Alexa Bliss even more with her looking, having that very close resemblance, like her looking exactly like her with the look, like with the facial, and maybe a little bit of hair color, like if Alexa had like purple hair. And speaking of the goddess and the 5 feet of Theory, like I heard that she will be making a return very soon. Could be at the Women's Royal Rumble match, marking it like over 2 years since the last whopping 2 years. Let me rephrase that, since the last time she competed in a WWE ring. But yeah, I heard that she's gonna. She might be coming. She might be coming back and then be on the Raw roster. But let me know about it in the comments in a different video. But yeah, but I'm seeing what WWE's kind of doing, like with Candice being the assistant of Nia. It's kind of similar. But the thing is, Alexa was the leader of the best friend of the best friend, the friendship they had back from all the way back from 2017 till 2018 until they fought each other at WrestleMania. But this is where we move on to the next slide. This is where we get Tiffany Stratton made it to the ring with everybody cheering her. This is where she was in an in-ring interview, I believe, with Byron Saxton, was it? It's where then he pointed out that she shocked the world, like while congratulating her and becoming the new WWE Women's Champion, which that was a shocker, which I was not really expecting her to do so until she actually did it. This is where she was like, okay, first off, I want to say congratulations. This is where Tiffany didn't sound like a babyface said, first of all, like you, like, thank you, Byron. And secondly, it's Tiffy time. And she said it right up when fans are shouting, which I guess that confirms her babyface term. It's where then she was like, yeah, it was like, it's been one hell of a year. What happened? It was fans like, hell yeah. This is what she was like, because last year I made my Ryan Monsters main deal and I became Miss Money in the Bank and I became a WWE Women's Champion at the age of 25. And I am your new WWE Women's Champion. And this is where she raised up, held high. This is where the Byron Saxton like before, like you, like would you be best of friends with Nia Jax? A lot of people say the reason why people have pulled you in so far, like or bully you. Or the reason why Nia Jax been bullying you so far, and this is where Tim Stratton's like, no, she did not bully me. Like I've been befriending her, so I get an easy way to become WWE Women's Championship. Like in this word, then she said, and she's calling me the stupid one, but right now, like who's really the stupid one now? Because I'm your current champion. This word and this I'm holding the title that I beat you. And this was like, and I am at the tippy top. And then this word then Nia Jax like, oh really? You are the tippy top? Which I was cracking up. I'm like it has a good ring to it with this pun, like with Tiffany Stratton's nickname Tiffy and Tiffany, and like it's like instead of saying tippy top, which something like my father would say, like if he was watching this right now, like he used to, which we won't get into that at this time. But this is where we got Nia Jax was like. And this is why we got Nia Jax called her an ungrateful little sugar honey iced tea, which WWE barely muted it out before she said, this was like, in Tiffy, I would gladly would kill you right now, which I was like, hopefully that's metaphorically speaking, because some might take out of context, and I know a couple of those guys, and they're going to say that's a crime. You should not, and you should not be making threats like that, like especially like, if that person does not deserve it. But this is where Nia Jax is like, yeah, you're standing there saying that, like you made a fool out of me. You're at the tippy top. Like you would be nothing without me. Like I'm the one that made you. Like if it wasn't for me, you would be a nobody. This is what Nia Jax like. I mean, like, well, like first of all, congratulations on your brain skills to come up with that. Like, and you finally took advantage. Like it took you long enough though. This is where Tiffany Stratton's like, oh really? When they're making that very questionable face, like understand what is Nia saying. That's where Nia can try to get on the microphone, when she kind of stumbled, like well, before she can even say anything, this is where, when her not saying anything, this is where she was like, there's fans like, boo, we don't want to hear your, what comes out of your idiotic mouth. Where she's like, but now they go, okay, Tiffany, you finally got your moment. Like, I'm going to hand you that. Like, yeah, tonight is Tiffany time. Like, well, so you better cherish this moment because I'm going to rightfully take back what's mine. And that is what you have around my arm. And that's why fans are continuing to over cheer her by saying like Tiffy time when Nia Jax started with saying like yeah, time's up, like you either give me back my championship here tonight. That's where the fans like, boo, don't listen to her, Tiffany. This is where she was absolutely not doing that because she was ain't know herself. That's what Nia Jax like, well, we'll take it from you. This is where we got. But that's where we got the wrestler that's net worth is $1 million or $900K or whatnot. That certain San Francisco tight end came out like, well, not him, but his girlfriend. That certain tight end's girlfriend, that female wrestler that's worth just $1 million or maybe even $900K, whatever it is when she came out saying ding dong, like Nia, ding dong, hello, like just shut the hell up for once. Is where fans are saying, yeah, tell her, Bailey. And some might say $1 million Bailey if you've been watching the podcast. This was like in second of all, like that was a plan. And this is where she was like. This is what she was like, first of all, like, and second of all, like, Tiffany, you got me right there because for a second or two, I thought that was, like, man, look, you got me. That was the plan all along. You certainly got me because I definitely thought you were not gonna cash in on it. But now, like, I know you're still moping about that, and you stop it, but I mean, you made like you. And this is where it's like, I mean, you kind of made Tiffany. Like, you took her under her wing, and she still stabbed right in the back when she got the chance to be given. That's where then she also stated while getting in the ring, saying, like, now, Tiffany, like, I know this is your moment of glory right now, but, like, I don't want you to think that I forgot that, like, the only reason why I the championship is because of you at SummerSlam. Like, I want that belt, but the only reason why he kept you around is to make sure that does not change into that matter. This way, and I think that I'm the rightful person that should take that from me. But that's where we got Naomi came out like and saying like no disrespect to $1 million Bailey. She was like, hold on, like with her taking a page out of Bianca's playbook by saying her catchphrase, This was we all know what the fans are saying hello to Naomi, which are responding back saying hello to you all back, and this word to Naomi they could do like, but check this out, we all had to beat. We all had Nia Jax beat. But if it wasn't for Miss Tipper, like I would be holding 2 titles right now. And this would be like that's right. Like and that's a fact. And this word in Naomi's like if anybody that should be fighting Tiffany for that championship, like it's definitely me. You gotta see me first. This word all 4 of these women can agree with anything. Well, this way that we got, but actually I should say it was like 2. But that's where it was. 3 of these women couldn't agree like who should be the number 1 contender. This is where Nia Jax was like Naomi, like nobody cares about you. This is where she went face to face to Bianca, teasing the shoulder. And this was like if it wasn't for your tag partner meddling into my match, this is where we got. This is where the Naomi's like, you get your damn hands out of my face. This is where we got her pushing it right back. But this is where Bianca Belair tried to go face to face, but she ends up getting headbutted by Nia Jax. But this is where we got Tiffany Stratton and safely got out of the ring with Bianca and Naomi, so a double team on the Nia Jax, and $1 million Bailey was doing the same as well. But this is where it ended up. But it's where like they were having trouble beating them 3-on-1. But it's where Tiffany Stratton helped out by hitting the prettiest moonsault on all 4 women, knocking each of them down. That's where every woman they were spread apart. Where Tiffany Stratton was about to leave and was saying like, "I rule SmackDown and I rule this whole division." This is where Nick was the ridiculous was like. Pardon me, Tiffany. Like, I need to interrupt this meeting of yours because Like I have these potential, any of these four potential challengers of yours. They want I can help them know they want a shot for the WWE Women's Championship. It's where then it was like, how about we do a four-way match? Like whoever wins, like will definitely be the number one contender for Tiffany's belt. That's where then do like, oh, one more thing, like it's gonna start right here, right now. That's where it absolutely did, and it absolutely stole the show. Like it was absolutely the best as it could that it could have been before. But WWE making it up for this match tonight, like which I believe they did pick the right winner. But then again, maybe it should have. It should have been one in particular, though. But I'm not going to get into it right now. But let me know in the comments who did you wanted to win in this fatal four-way match. But the one thing I got to point out, Naomi and Bailey were rocking in purple hair, which they kind of had me thinking like that looks very familiar for that certain female wrestler that used to be in the company, which she's no longer there. She's over at the other company, being I guess you could say triple champion, I guess you could say. After all, she is friends with the $1 million worth women's wrestler that could be dating that tight end from San Francisco and the wife of Jimmy Uso, or Jimbo, I should say, yeah. But anyways, after all, she's friends with them. And the last time that Naomi and Bailey were women's tag team champions, in their different respective runs, it was with that particular women's wrestler, which I'm not going to get into at the moment because they're in the other company, or she's in the other company because it's particularly a female, of course. But it's where all three women were trying to take down Nia Jax, which was a smart move from these three baby faces. But this is where we got Nia Jax tossed Naomi and Bailey right in the side while she went right into Bianca Belair and speared her right to the bottom right side. It's where Naomi tried to go for a strike onto the Nia Jax, but she sent her right to her partner. This is where we got Naomi and they started kicking and punching all over Nia Jax. This is where she tried to go for a double suplex on her tag partner, the EST. This is where but Nia Jax picks up both women and double suplex them right to the other side, the upper left side, which Nia Jax showed all her strength because she weighs like 200.5 pounds, I guess you could say. But this is where then we got Bailey then went up and started trying to go for strikes right onto the irresistible force, but she ends up getting headbutt and made her did a backflip. This is where we got Bianca Belair, Irish whip, Naomi right into Nia Jax in that exact same corner in the bottom left. This is where then we got Naomi did the same with Bianca, but this time Naomi started going for a shoulder spear right into the midsection onto Nia Jax. This is where we got once they doing a double team by striking her right into that exact same corner, is where they end up eventually getting pushed right to the upper right side. Where Nia Jackson went right outside when Bailey was coming trying to go for a shoulder tackle, but this is where she was already long gone. This is where three women were like, are we gonna get back in the ring night? This is where they're like, okay, it'll be the three of us then if you're gonna be setting this out. Is where we got both Bianca, Bailey, and Naomi were thinking who should start first. This is where Nia Jax is like how about I help y'all guys out with this problem with the solution. This was how about Bay and Nay should start off with each other while I take care of Bianca. And this is where she threw her right into the barricade while Bailey and Naomi then hit a double missile dropkick onto Nia Jax. It's where both the glower and the hugger, or the role model, I guess you could say, started grappling it out. It's where then they saw both. It's where we saw both women then try to go for a headlock. This is where Bailey got a headlock. This is where she gets thrown on the right side, but this is where but she gets shoulder. This is where Bailey shoulder tackle Naomi. But this is where she goes for an arm drag. And I was they're purposely doing that by wearing the same color hair because, I guess to show some honor from their former tag team partner and still current wrestling friend that they won tag team championship in their different respective runs with those titles. But it's where we got. But that's where we got Bailey throw Naomi on the right side. Naomi ducks out of the way. This is where she was about to be about to play as the bullfire by saying Taro to Bailey. They were trying to attack her like if she's a red towel. This is where she move out of the way. Olay is her. This is where she go for a schoolgirl, but this is where it ends up getting kicked out. This is where we got Naomi then throw Bailey right to the right side, got her head, which that was the most mistaken maneuver to do in professional wrestling, especially in WWE, because she gets kicked right in the head by Bailey. But this is where she gets dragged up by Nia Jax, gets thrown right to the bottom corner side on the barricade. This is where she tried to collect Naomi. Naomi did a double shrub right into the midsection. This is where we got are doing it again, along with a jawbreaker right on the irresistible force, which I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Nia's jaw really was broken. This is where Naomi to try to go for a slide hurricane runner, face buster Majiggy. But this is where she ends up getting power bombed. This is where Nia Jax tried to go for a pin. She might have gotten away with it and become the number one contender to recapture a women's championship, but wasn't for the meddling EST partner of glowing Naomi. It's where Bianca Belair was trying to make it another example out of another heavyweight women's wrestler, like she did Piper Niven about 1,000 times. Like, and now trying to go for the KOD, but it's where it didn't happen. But this is where she gets thrown right to the bottom right side. But it's where Naomi then dodges out of her way. This is where she kicks her out of the way. This is where she was right on the top rope in the moonsault. This is where she was telling her to come over here, start playing wrestling bullfighting, I guess you could say, like tarrowing Nia Jax that would not have been like the angry bull, just trip right over face first right to the bottom left side. It's where Bianca Belair did the kip up, spears, what's his name, Nia Jax right to the bottom left side, did some right hands right to the face, onto the irresistible force, like repeatedly. This is where anyway, that she started hitting her repeatedly until she was like right at 12 or 13, when Nia Jax hit a sit-out powerbomb right onto the EST. This is where Bailey came in with a knee strike right to the face, which that's the first time I saw, or second time actually, since what they call Women's War Games Survivor Series, like with her saving Bianca's life. Is where then they was like, what was that, Nia? Like Tiffy's yours. This is where she hit some right hands to the face. This is where she started repeatedly hitting some strikes right onto the irresistible force. This is where she started to throw her right to the right side. This is where Nia Jax ducks out of the way. This is where we got in a spinning back suplex. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where it ends up getting denied with a kick out at 2.2, I believe. This is where Bailey tried to go up in the top rope, which I believe is now her signature, formerly known as her finisher, which is that Macho Woman elbow drop, which I think that tight end thinks she is, I guess you could say. Very macho, which I could say for multiple reasons, which I think that's kind of inappropriate to mention right here, but or to get into details, I should say, more likely. But anyways, this is where we got Nia Jax stopped her from hitting that Macho Woman elbow drop. Nia Jax tried to put her on her shoulder to hit that avalanche Samoan drop. And it was okay that she did this because she was Samoan. But this is where it turned to also a Tower of Doom combination with Bianca Belair and Naomi came in and hit a double powerbomb on the years as before. But still, with Bailey still on her shoulder, that she got most of the impact because that's where Bailey gets slammed right in the middle of the canvas. She was like, the agony. And this is where then we got it was on the instant replay before they went back right to the powerful force in all the professional wrestling. And that was the commercial break. Once they got out of the, came back from the advert, is where I believe the opposite did happen. Who was it? Like, well, this is where we got Naomi encounter out of Annihilator from Anaya. This is where she hit the split-legged moonsault right after the adverts were gone off the air. This is where Naomi get denied with a kick out 2.7. This is where Bailey tried to hit a Macho Woman elbow drop, which was successful. She probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for her meddling glowing friend. Oh, thanks. The reason why she is friends with her is because of her other friend, which I cannot mention her by name anymore, even with her name that she was using in WWE. But this is where we got Bianca Belair hit a 450 splash right into the corners where she tried to go for a pin, but her metal and glowing partner and her arch rival $1 Million Bailey came in and stopped her from getting the 3 count. And this is where all 3 women were very disappointed right into each other. This is where Candice LeRae was trying to create a diversion, but but there was not much that she can do. This is where we got both Bianca and Naomi, like the current women's tag team champions, hit a double, what they call a double Russian next week onto Bailey. This is where they hit a double hand, what they call it, like hand-to-hand elbow drop right onto the role model. This is where both women look face to face. They're like, we're just gonna do it. Like, should we do it? Like, this is where Naomi's like, I guess though. Like, but just one time. This is where. This is where. This is where the stuff Bailey and Nia Jax that was right behind him. Crossbody after they got pointed it out. But this is where then once Naomi tried to do it to her cousin-in-law, this is where Nia Jax hit a power slam right onto Naomi's back. This is where then we got Nia Jax and pick up what's her name, Bianca Belair. This is where Bianca counted out of it. This is where she ducks out of Nia Jax's clothesline, went to the left side, hit a spear out of nowhere, which I believe that used to be her signature move. But once you try to go for a pinfall, this ends up being ruined by her longtime rival that was meddling with her, and that was the role model Bailey. She tried to go for a cover, but Naomi came for the save. That's where Naomi then hit a rear view right to the face onto Bailey, which she finally let her have it, which I understand what that even means. But this is where Nia Jackson hit her with a shoulder tackle right onto the glower, like so she won't get the win. But this is where she tried to go for a pin. This is where somehow Bianca Belair came in and saved the day, and not only her partner. This is where Bianca did try to go right on top of Naomi. She was like, nah, better idea. But just like before I die, I'm going to catch my breath while these women are down for now. This is where we got Bianca Belair's like, okay, now I'm well rested. This is where she's like, which one of you women are going to get up first? And this is where she did that Nia Jax, or Nia Jax through the EST, left shoulder first, right into the inner part on the bottom left side ring post. That's where Bailey did grab on the legs of Nia Jax. And this is where it helped Naomi hit a super kick. Where we got Naomi grabbing on the legs of Bailey, but Bailey then went and hit a knee to the face while Bianca did hit spine busters, where she goes for a springboard flip into a moonsault right onto the Bailey. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but it's where it ends up getting denied the kick out by Bailey. This is where Bianca was like, what do I got to do to get back in the women's title picture? This is where Bianca Belair's like, okay, like I got an idea. This is where she tried to go for a move that she always beat Bailey with for the last almost 3 years. Like even in that particular live event that I went to with my brother, sister-in-law, and uncle, like when they were fighting for the then the Raw Women's Championship at the time. But this is where we got. But that's where, before she can even get a chance to hitting Bailey with the maneuver, that's where she gets one of her braids pulled by Candice LeRae to distract her. That's where then Bianca Belair to try to pull it right back from her. That's where she actually whipped Naomi like if she was her former tag team partner. That when the last time she was the women's tag team championship, when they had that big main event match at that biggest showcase of the Immortals event, which I believe was 4 years ago, was it? But anyways, this is where we got Nia Jax grabbing onto Bianca Belair, but Bianca Belair speared her right over to the barrier, right over the announce table. That's where Bailey then hits a rose plant right on the Naomi, like on that advertisement of Netflix, Raw on Netflix, let me rephrase that. Like when they were doing that little advertisement like weeks before the show. But anyways, Bailey did got the win from that maneuver, and that should be the next. We'll be facing Tiffany Stratton for that women's championship next week, which she was informed by Nicholas the Ridiculous when she got backstage, when she was getting congratulated. She was like, yeah, that match is gonna take place right next week on the January. Well, the January which was going to take place at the January 17th edition of SmackDown. This is where we got Cody Rhodes was backstage with Jim Uso. That's where Jim Uso was like, yeah, dog, all good. And it's where the Jim Uso was like, don't worry about like what Roman Reigns have like with you. Like, yeah, like we're all good. We're all good, dog. This is where Cody Rhodes was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like how Randy Orton did with Jey Uso, like they're like, yeah, like like, hey, like, yeah, none of your concerns, like, and it's not your, like, you're not a problem whatsoever. Like, and I don't think your cousin's the problem, but I knew this was gonna be coming sooner or later. But for now, I cannot wait to be teaming with you. Is where they did the respective handshakes and the fist dabs right onto each other. Is where they like see you out in the ring. Is where we got Carmelo Hayes came in, like just 2 seconds after Cody Rhodes. It was like, oh, hey, Big Jim, which he must have saw him from afar behind. I was like, what a sneaky creep. Like, I know that you're not being used this week, but that doesn't mean you have to make matters in your own hands in this way, in this caliber. But this is where we got. But this is where then Carmelo Hayes then try to what that put words in Jimmy Uso's head. This is where then what no, it was no, Jimmy Uso said a very funny nickname, which I'm trying to remember right now. Like we got to, right after that, he said told Cody Rhodes that he would see him out there. This is where then Carmel Hayes then came in and said, "Well, big like last week, like it was 3-on-1. It was just it was you and Sammy and you, Sammy, me, and your twin brother. This where it's like yeah, we all cool. This where it's like you know what? Before he say anything, like I'm gonna let that slide. But he's like, this where he's like, but if it ever happens again, though, like I'm gonna let that slide for now, like because the first time you're seeing me face to face, like me and Solo, like, me and the boys are tapped in. Like so, if you ever because if you ever do that again, like I'm just saying, like we tap. I mean, me and Solo and the boys, we are tapped in. So if you do that again, you're gonna end up just like Braun Strowman, like that what happened a week or two ago, or no, 2 weeks ago actually. This was like I'm just saying, like I'm not trying to make no threats, but making problems. This is where the Uso to point out like what. This word in Jimmy Uso, like, what's your catchphrase again? This word in Mel's like, oh yeah, like I don't miss. This word in Jimmy Uso is like yeah, like but what I see, like with all those bricks that you've been shooting like into the court, like you can make a whole house with that. Like if you're that big that has the strongest house, like that the big bad wolf cannot. This word he then did the yeet wave right on Carmelo. Like you're that big bad wolf that cannot blow this house down. Like yeet, and that's where then he walked out of there. And where then they were getting ready for their match, which I was like, it ties to second place with the Motor City Machine Guns against the what they call the against the A-Town Down Under. This is where the WWE's partner with Red Cross to help donate like to those that were the unfortunate victims on that wildfire in California, which I think they're doing a very excellent job doing that and advertising that. And then wish I could know how to do like little, like do like a fundraising charity fund, like for those that have lost their homes and for every other fortunate guy that's trying that are unfortunately like financially like or financially unfortunate. I should rephrase that. But yeah, let me know in the comment section right down below about this. And have you donated anything like into the Red Cross, like with WWE being the partners, like or like what you done? Let me know in the comments. But let's get into the main event match with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes taking on Jimmy take on Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga up next. But it's where they showed Solo Sikoa like was gonna be making his appearance since like his devastating loss to Roman Reigns, which that's like I believe 11 days later after he lost. But it's where we got Jacob Fatu to it was like, hey, Cody Rhodes, Jimmy, you thought that we're gonna ruin our fun? Oh, excuse me for a moment. I have to go beg him to hire me. Hello, bro. Yeah, say what's that? Uh, an orange pop, okay?
sure.
Like nothing bad doesn't happen. When no accidents occur.
And make sure you have something to drink.
Have something to drink for dinner tonight. Like on the episode of the Cookie, the Krusty Krab with Squidward's like Patrick, don't be stupid somewhere else. That is very hilarious.
Exactly. In this fucking parking lot.
In this whole entire parking lot, yeah. But yeah, the on top should be yes sir, ma'am.
All right.
But anyways, assassinators, this is where we got Jacob Fatu that did his infamous, his latest infamous backstage promo segment, like sending a message to both Jimbo, the American Nightmare. Like this is where, like it was, like if Solo was there, like when he started talking about how he loves and he worships and he prays to his so-called tribal chief, and that is Solo Sikoa, with him doing this, like. But this word that we got, like. But before I get into more of that, I want to ask you who's going to walk out as winning the chip. But we all know. But yeah, this word. Before we get, this word, I'm going to ask you who's going to win the women's championship match next week. And what do you think what's next for Solo Sikoa, which that's what Wade Barrett even questioned, like when they made the announcement that Solo Sikoa will be making his long 11-day awaited return. But ever since he lost that match this past Monday, it's where then Jacob Hunt is like, yeah, he's like, all right, boys, like you see what me and Tom have been doing, okay? Like and like the difference between this was like the difference between our bloodline and your bloodline is that y'all's bloodline like left y'all left you offline. What he said, y'all like your bloodline left you on the front line, like the dead line, like like and as for you, Cody Rhodes, I would suggest you wake your ass up because this is M's because this is Elm Street. I mean, because M Street is over, I should say, because your nightmare is here or something like that. That's where they came out because obviously their match against the two that they're sending the message to, and it was second place spot of the best match of the night. This is where it got started off with. It's where he started off with, it was Cody Rhodes and Tom Tonga started. It's where he lifted up the son of Haku, did it like a 10-second suplex facebuster Majiggy. It's where he stared face to face to Jacob Fatu, like, oh, like you want to jump in this ring and try to get the same treatment I'm giving to your cousin here. This is where he's like, I like to see you try. This is where he goes for a wrist lock. It's where then he tags in Jimmy Uso, which Jimmy Uso went to the upper left quarter side top turbo, hit a flying handspring forward axe handle right to the arm. Then go for a wrist lock. Then he gets hit right to the midsection into a forearm strike. This is where we got Tama Tonga then sent like what's his name? Jimmy Uso right to the corners where he starts stomping on him in that corner is where Jessica Carr was like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where he then tags in Jacob Fatu started doing it, but this is where Jessica Carr did the same with him. Got count 5 6, but he stopped at 4.1. This is where Tama Tonga's guard, not that Jacob Fatu in hand, but repeatedly on the Jimmy Uso on the bottom left side. But this is where he tries to send him to the upper right side diagonally. This is where he slides right through, hits a guy, go for an arch whip to the right side. This is where he gets countered, gets on the stab. This is where he gets elbow right to the face. This is where he got Jacob Fatu hit the pop up Samoan drop. And yeah, he is Samoan, so obviously he will hit that move. This is where we got That's where I got one thing Jacob Fatu gave him that stare glance. That's where they went to the partial powerful force in all of professional wrestling, and that is the picture-in-picture commercial break. Is where once the partial adverts went off the air, is where we saw Jimmy Uso to come in, start making a comeback with Jacob Fatu. But no, it was Tama Tonga that tagged in Jacob Fatu and attacked him with a tackle, shoulder tackle. I believe that's where we got him and tagging back in Tama Tonga with a shoulder tackle or with a shoulder lock, I should say, with Tama Tonga to try to go for. But it seemed like it took long for it to be the opposite. But this is where it seemed like that the powerful force Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga because they survived the powerful force. That's where we got Jacob Fatu in a running hip attack. We saw that Jimmy Uso get hit head first right into the running hip attack. He was trying to go for a pin. But this is where we got Jimmy Uso kick out 2.4. Like it seemed like that they were easily going to beat him, and it was just any given time, just a matter of time for to do so. But he somehow luckily somehow escaped out of the grasp of Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. That's where Cody Rhodes started going on a rant of making a comeback, like going to both Jacob and Tama. That's where Cody Rhodes then started hitting some bionic punches right on the Jacob Fatu after hitting his comeback maneuver. That's where he started doing the roll onto the arm. That's where he started doing the little wiggle dance, like if he just slaughtered the American Dream. Right after he hit a bionic elbow right to the face. This is where then he tried to go for a pin, but it's where we got what's his name? It's where then we got what's his name? It's where then he tried to go for a pin on the Tama Tonga, but Tama Tonga kicked out at 2.6. That's where he saw Jacob Fatu went right up in the bottom corner rope trying to get in the ring. That's where Cody will stop him before he can even attempt to. That's where he must like Karate Kid, and he must have taken the page out of Stephanie McCurry's playbook because he started going around the legs and then the dragon screw like how the Chilean wrestler would do it. And this is where he bent it hard, which they must have kept him busy for a while to get back up. But this is where Tama Tonga, they kind of have a German suplex from the American Nightmare, hit the jumping DDT like if he's the current TNA champion, like how he used to do it this time in the company. But once he tried to go for a pin, he only got a pin of 2.6, if I'm not mistaken. But this is where he tried to go up in the top rope and Cody's and the Cody side, and to make matters worse, this is where Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso try to take a page out of those two guys' playbooks from the other company that Cody Rhodes used to work for, and what Jimmy Uso used to work for when they were in WWE. When they would go for one goes for a suplex, while the other one goes for a splash, which is like these certain tag teams I always call Uncle to, like from the other company, like. They hit their signature tag team maneuver. It's where Cody Rhodes did the suplex while on the other side, Jimmy Uso hit the splash. But it's where Jacob Fatu tried to grab onto Jimmy Uso. It's where he hits a right uppercut while Cody Rhodes they try to go for a double springboard Super Cody cutter right off the bottom corner ropes. It's where then we got Jimmy Uso hit a suicide dive right on to Jacob Fatu. Also to add some what they call damage into the what they call add some damage into the process. This is where we got Cody Rhodes that came out with Kevin Owens to start striking on to Kevin Owens, kick him the gun, hit him face first right to the barricade. That's where then they went right to the backstage area, which that was one way to get Cody Rhodes' attention away from this match. That's where Tama Tonga thought this was the opportunity to hit the surprise roll onto Jimmy Uso. But that did not exactly happen. This is where we got Jimmy Uso trying to take a page out of his twin brother and cousin, the OTC himself, like playbook, like hit a spear out of nowhere. Like, so to take out Tama Tonga, the same man that attacked him in his debut. That's where then Jimmy Uso to try to go for Uso splash, I believe. But she was outnumbered at the moment because Cody Rhodes was distracted with Kevin Owens because once he tried to go for a pin after hitting the Uso splash right on the Tama Tonga, he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling werewolf that just grabbed him and tried to eat him. But he waited but he's gonna wait until it's midnight to feast on him because this is where he started toying with him, playing with him. This is where he started hitting him with a head, hit him with what I call head. Hit him with a face first, run into right into the what's it called on the announce table face first, is where he hit him with an impaling DDT right in the middle of the ring. That's where they try to go for a triple moonsault maneuver, I believe it's called. And we're trying to go for a pin, which he did get a 1-2-3, which Tamatanga quickly got back in the ring because he knew it was going to be a celebration because Cody Rhodes was not going to come back anytime soon. So they might as well celebrate the moment while they can. But this is where Cody Rhodes then still fighting Kevin Owens, but they got back into the arena, but this time into the audience. That's where they were right on top of this box-like structure. It looked like Kevin Owens was about to win the battle of a brawl, like with him about to hit him with a package pile driver right over to the table that was like right behind him. But Cody Rhodes stopped him by hitting some right hand to the face. And they started going fist after fist right into each other, like how Sami Zayn and him used to do back when they were in the rivalry. When the last time, Sami Zayn was the baby face in the feud, which that's going to be remain to be seen. But this is where Cody Rhodes then went and speared him right out of nowhere, like knocking Kevin Owens right off the top of this box-like structure that stand at 7 or 8 feet tall. That's where they fell right off and right to that same table, knocking each other out in the process. Like, boom, it was very painful and brutal to watch. Like, even though there was not bloody violence or decapitation or what they call or amputation, like. But still, like, it was very brutal, like, to see, like, imagine if that was you. Like, it may not be outer parts that's broken, but, like, there must be internal broken parts of the body. But that's how SmackDown ended with the producers and the referees helping out their rivals get back up, like, from their brutal beating on one another. And, like, and then this is what makes this main event, like at the end of the night, more intriguing because we're wondering who's going to walk out as WWE champion, which we all know is going to be Cody because there's some big plans. Like, and the rumor has it that John Cena could be his next challenger for that WWE championship. And as much as I would like to see Cena fighting Cody, that's a dream match in general. Even if Cody Rhodes is not the WWE champion, I would still count that as like a what's that called? I would still count that as a win-win situation, but at the same time, I just still want to see like the unfinished business between him and the final boss, which I hope that's in the future of and both men in that caliber. Like, but let me know in the comments who's the next challenger of Cody Rhodes. But like of this championship, if he does beat Kevin Owens and put an end of his rant of him having so much hatred with the American Nightmare just because he teamed with Roman Reigns, and now like he hates him more because he like was high praising Paul Heyman while Paul Heyman was doing the same for him, just for Heyman to do Roman a favor, and that is like to talk about a rematch for the Undisputed Championship. And I think they will down the line have a rematch, but at the same time, I just don't think Cody Rhodes is going to drop that title against him. Oh, yeah, he'll probably be the very last wrestler to be able to do so. But let me know in the comments down below about that. And who do you think it might be? Do you think it's going to be Roman Reigns in the end part 3, or the final boss, The Rock, or even the returning John Cena? Like, with the only way he probably will get a shot at that title if he wins the Royal Rumble in his 3rd time of his career, and tying Stone Cold Steve Austin's record of winning 3 Royal Rumble matches. But yeah, like, and also, but I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if so, please make sure the big thumbs up button, considering also to hit the subscribe and the post notification bell for more SNA videos. And also make sure to check out my wrestling news video where I'll be talking about the wildest and intriguing news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from a Sportskeeda article following up with AEW Collision tomorrow, like on January 11, 2025. And my first ever wild card game pickle who's going to be winning. I'm going to let you guys to decide who that might be. But yeah, there's so much to talk about. Again, it's very great to talk about right here on the SNA podcast, I guess you could say. But But yeah, let's end this video right here with this with me giving you what exactly how I rate SmackDown. Even though there were some moments that I didn't really agree on, but like it didn't even matter because as long as it's some good quality, like on matches and segments and angles, like I'm not gonna be complaining about it. And they did, I'll say probably 8 out of 10 into this show, like with like who's the rightful person who should get a shot at Tiffany Stratton's Women's Championship. If it was not gonna be like Nia Jax, it should be Bayley at this time. And it may, and I think they kind of teased that there's gonna be a heel turn with Naomi, with her like pointing out the obvious. Like if it wasn't for Tiffany Stratton, she would have came went out as women's champion, which that's true. And I could see them down the line could be brought up battling for that belt. But I think it'll probably be after when Charlotte Flair come back and that rumor match with the Queen of Flares happens, which I think that will be happening on that side of the fence. Well, I'll see Becky Lynch will probably come back and there'll be a triple threat kind of rivalry between her, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan. Let me know what your predictions in your bingo card in WWE right now in the comments down below. And I guess that'll be it for now. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. And if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. Oh, before I forget, I will give SmackDown probably maybe four stars out of 5. It's just that it was just the very generic, very generic, what's that called? Like average SmackDown at its best. Like for us fans, like we're thinking like, should it stay in the 3-hour mark? Like, well, it's the second week it's been 3 hours, and ever since then it's been very intriguing, and I hope that it stays that way for the next probably 5 months from now, because I heard that it will go back to 2 hours by the time it be in June. Yeah, in June, it'll be exactly go back to their 2-hour format, I guess you could say. But yeah, but let me know in the comments so far from the last 2 weeks of it being 3 hours. Is it your cup of tea? Do you think it's best for business, or do you think like it's not needed? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But yeah. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, consider hit the subscribe, and the post notification bell for more SNA videos. And also, like SmackDown also showing that their tag team division is like what everybody is the complete opposite of what everybody's saying right now. Like the tag team division world championships, which is that's kind of basically is. And also like what else is pushing on the men's side, not really at its best. And hopefully that could be a change. Like, let's hope that the rematch between LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura will be more better than it was before. And this time it will be, it'll be more of a, what's that? It'll be much more of a, what's that called? Like the next time, like they'll have, what's that called? The next time, like that they'll have a United Championship match, won't be interfere. Even though, like, it's because of LA Knight, like kicking them out of the building, and somehow Tama and Jacob found their way back in there, and they're trying to seek some revenge, which they did so, and they also kind of got probably a quarter of revenge on the Jimmy Uso, considering it was him that they pinned in order to get the win, which was most specifically Jacob Fatu. Overall, I think WWE SmackDown did like mostly their best on the show, and I cannot wait for next week's show and for this Monday on Raw, because there's so much to be looking forward to, and seeing who's going to be the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria, and who's the debuting luchador mystery opponent of Chad Gable, which y'all know who it might be. If it's not obvious enough when I did a hand gesture, like with his taunting maneuver he does. But we're going to wait and see about that in the next few days to come. And I hope y'all are having a fun rest of your Friday night. And I'll see you all on the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. And y'all take care, Assassinators, and I'll see you on the next video. And have a very fun and safe and awesome, Super Ninja Austin rest of your night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more videos. Bye-bye for now, and I hope that I will sound less of this when I start making those videos, and I'll see you soon. And let me know in the comments down below who's exactly your pick, or who's going to win, and who's going to move on to facing either, who's going to be facing uh, either the Buffalo Bills, or even the what's their names, the back-to-back Super Bowl Chiefs on the division round. Is that possibly going to happen? Whoever wins, depending on who's going to win the other games in the AFC side, because we got 2 other games that's going to be happening on Sunday, and like we got Monday night and Sunday night's game with the what's their names, with the Sunday night and Monday night's game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the what's their names? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. And we're going to be seeing like another NFC game that's going to be on before the Saturday night's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, which I'm going to make a review on, like who's going to win. That's a very interesting billion-dollar question. But yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, for now, I'll see you guys soon on the next video. Bye-bye and peace.